Hey, what's up everyone? My name is College Sports Revived and welcome back to the Road to NBA 2K21 series here on the PlayStation 5. Here's just a quick edited down version of the live stream from yesterday, Game 5 against the Miami Heat. The winner goes to the NBA Finals. Hope you guys enjoy the edited down version for you guys who just want to hop in, watch it real quick. And yeah, here you go. So I hope you enjoy.
Unfortunately, with the stream's issues. So we're at the center court, winner go home. The winner advances to the conference finals, rather leaves the conference finals to make the NBA finals, as Miami will have the opening tip. So we see Jimmy Butler. He's still nursing that ankle injury, but he'll take the first shot of the game for Miami. The roll does not go for Butler, but Bam Adebayo is there to perhaps have a second chance at it. Mitch, though, he toes in for a second and third attempt that is cut off. Once again, this is a battle of the two top offenses in the Eastern Conference, as Ferran is cut off by Hero. He gives it up to me. I'm trying to make something out of nothing. Dump off to Mitch. He'll glide his way past Bam Adebayo to get us on the board. Way to go, Mitch. So Mitch is averaging 9 points, 8 rebounds a game through the first 4 games of the conference finals. He's doing what he can against Bam, as this one's a green light release from 15 feet. Through games 1 and 3, I mean, my jump shot was very inconsistent. That is, if I even had an open look. Miami was right in the pocket of me and Ferran through those first 2 games. But slowly and surely, me and him have found more daylight, as Mitch then sends back Bam Adebayo. About a Euro step, I think I'm going to get called for the charge, and I do. Wow, Tyler Hero towing and playing some defense. Okay. As Nick set things back up. Ferran trying to get him open. He's giving Dragic a lot of grief, but he makes the extra pass to me at the free throw line. Nice. Little two-man game between me and Ferran. That's how we get things started. Nick's feeling pretty good here out of the opening gate. Coming off the curl screen. Go back to Ferran. I'm going to set him a pick. Dragic is going to give him a lot of space. That one's a little bit long. Randall fighting inside with Ingram. Miami up by 1, 7:32 left to go in the first quarter. This time, Hero, I'm not going to let him have any daylights. How can you call that a foul? It's already my second personal. Oh my goodness. There's something I have to change too. I hope I can change it in here. I can, that's very clutch. Because, as you guys know, whenever I live stream a Game 5, I like to watch what happens whenever I'm checking out of the game too. Normally whenever I record a video, I just let the screen fade to black. I'll sub out, come back in, it'll just skip to my next appearance. But for these winner go home games, you already know I like to see the entirety of the... He's got the smaller Hero on him. Does he want the ISO? Let's see. He gets a screen. He's open from 15, but he'll give it up to Ferran. He's got a little bit of separation. Ferran with 5 straight points to give New York the lead. Let's go. 11-9 here in the early goings. Emmanuel quickly takes over the point guard duties with no Fitz out on the floor. Here's some separation. Now he will go with his offhand. Very nicely done, quickly. As you see at the bottom of your screen, as Ingram is taking his sweet time of collecting the loose change, but still no subs yet for Miami. Ingram, pick and roll, nicely covered by Mitch. No whistle this time. Here comes K, trying to improve on his 4 for 11 shooting performance back in Game 4 in the Garden. Quickly, off a screen, he continues to do damage. Yes. Emmanuel quickly. How about this for a storyline? Oh my goodness, timeout Erik Spoelstra. The Miami Heat, the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, they're sweating, trying not to drop 3 straight to choke away a 2-0 series. Checking in for the Heat is Josh Hart and Duncan Robinson, along with Kendrick Nunn. Off his back foot is Josh Hart, my former teammate. He will finally break the run for New York. There was 11 unanswered points. And as we take a look at Bam's stats on the series, 21.5 points, 14 rebounds with 2 blocks. As Ferran is open, that was a confident stroke. I knew that was going in. The New York Knicks continue to put the pressure on the defending champs. They're actually the top offense in the Eastern Conference at 110.5 points per game. As Toppin moves to his right. Wow, off balance. The threes come in succession for the New York Knicks. Kendrick Nunn gets into the lane, bringing two defenders as New York. Precious will kick it out to Duncan Robinson. I was waiting for that one. Robinson's actually been the third leading scorer for Miami in this series. 14.5 points, and now he's 18 for 28 from three. That's over 60% for you mathematicians out there. Quickly finds Knox, who wants to answer back to his counter partner, and he does. Keeping Miami at bay, back up to a 9-point game. Seconds here in the first quarter. Hopefully I'll check back in when the second quarter starts. Had those two early jump shots. Knox wants to make it 2 in a row. What has gotten into the New York Knicks? Oh my goodness. Just to let you guys know real quick, haven't changed any sliders. These are the sliders that I always use. I've used ever since we made the transition to NBA 2K21. I did not touch anything, but I shouldn't get ahead of myself. We all know how dangerous the Heat can be. He's open. I'm getting there for the closeout. Yes, another one misses. I see Randall. Ingram comes to help. Randall down the lane for a thunderous second assist. I saw that coming from a mile away. Randall has had a pretty interesting, or almost turbulent conference finals, if you will. I have some interesting stats pulled up on him after I play some defense on Tyler Hero. Another Miami Heat turnover. Come on, I'm trying to split these two defenders. I draw some contact, and now I'm heading to the line. Third personal. I'm Precious Achiuwa.
2 shots, foul.
But Julius Randle, we open up the series with 2 losses. And in those 2 losses, he actually averaged 15 points and 8.5 rebounds. As I unfortunately missed the first free throw, of course. But then we responded with winning 2 straight back at home. And in those 2 home wins at MSG to knot up the series, Randall only averaged 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 40% shooting. So he's played great in our losses and has been kind of invisible in our wins. We'll see how he does tonight. Dragic clears it. He looks for an oop, and this one's disrupted. We're starting to catch on with those alley-oops. You saw in the last video, Cade with his best look of the entire series. He's got time to lick his thumb, check the wind, and still get the shot off. And Ferran has Goran Dragic. Nice job. A little teardrop from Ferran. Our biggest lead of the contest. Can you believe what you're seeing, guys? I might have to knock on wood, but I didn't expect it to be this easy. I'm trying to free up Hero again. Do not whistle me for another personal on that. I am in disbelief right now. Tom Thibodeau is in disbelief as well. And I have to check out again. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this right now. Like, what do you want me to do there? I'm just trying to make a basketball play and fight over this screen. I just try to do a little swim move around him. And, oh man, the Dragic, the veteran, makes a veteran-type move. You can tell he knew what he was doing. He should deserve an Oscar for that acting performance. Brandon Ingram top of the key. Dragic operating from far out. Precious with the handoff. Dragic, 2 guys cover him, but we still can't stop him. Miami back down to 11. Do they have life? Well, I think it's going to start on the defensive side of the floor for them today. Because they missed a lot of open shots. Those will end up falling. But they need some stops here. As Jimmy Butler might have just grabbed one. Playing with that swollen ankle, and he's still making plays. I'm not really sure why, but Bam Adebayo hasn't played much of this second quarter. You can see him there at the scores table. But he's really the only guy that can stop Mitch on the boards. And Mitch has been decent in this series, but nothing like how he was against Boston or Washington. Wow. Oh, man. Ingram with a circus shot to record a 3-point play. Miami's not going to go down without a fight, I'm trying to tell you guys. So Knox was hot in the first quarter, but now he's dropped to 3 for 9 shooting. as he doesn't pick up Josh Hart, so my former teammate can slam it down reverse style with nobody in the painted area. So defensive miscommunication by Kevin Knox. Maybe he had his hot start go to his head a little bit. As you see me, I was walking to the scores table. Am I going to play the last few seconds of this first half? I guess we're going to see. Rivers has the angle, but then he blows the layup. 13 seconds left, just like in the first quarter. The Heat get the last shot. And they got the mismatch they want. Nice job, Bam Adebayo, from 10 feet out using the glass. 6 seconds left for Quickley and company. As this one might be another turnover. Quickley's getting pressured and off his back foot. He cannot make something out of nothing at the end of the first half. But Miami, you got to think that's a win for them. Despite looking really out of sorts and not like themselves, they did cut it to 9 as we enter the break. Let's see, we got 5 more team rebounds than the Heat. We're still shooting above 50%. And even though we started turning over the ball there at the end of the first half a little bit, we still have more team steals than the Heat. Ferran leads us with 11. Bam leads the Heat with 12, despite not playing a majority of that second quarter. Shooting 2 for 3 on the game. But just look at this point disparity. Everybody getting involved on the Knicks side of things. As Ingram is the only Miami Heat player to score double digits. Bounce pass, trying to make it 2 threes in the game. There's Cade Cunningham for a triple number 2 on 2 attempts. Miami's on their feet chanting defense. But Julius Randle wants to silence them with an open 18-footer. And now he is on the receiving end of a missed open shot. And here comes Bam Adebayo to dunk it down and get things back down to 8 for Miami. We're working fast here. Cade, he's actually going to take it. Oh, that would have been a huge shot. But Bam, now he wants one in transition. But luckily it's off the mark. Knicks still lead by 8. Randall has Dragic on him. I'm just going to dump it down and let him use his height. That's what I'm talking about right there. New York Knicks second in the NBA in team assists on the season. And I'm your 3rd consecutive. Wow, another sloppy turnover for Miami. That's not the first time we've seen that tonight. Jimmy Butler forgets where he's at on the floor, and we get another free possession. You just cannot continue to make mistakes like this if you're South Beach and expect to win this game. There's a screen from Randall. There's a money shot from the elbow. The defense has just been superb for the orange and blue. Screen for Toppin. Someone's got to be open. Ferran goes a little bit too far, but then he puts the move on Goran Dragic. Assist number 5. I originally wanted Ferran just to occupy that wing, but he went a little bit too far for my liking because I originally thought he was just going to stop and pop for the 3. But he fools everybody, including myself. I wanted him to maybe go right there to shoot, but he takes a little bit farther to get the angle for the drive. In between the legs, and he'll glide for another basket inside. Just not much resistance inside the paint for Miami. 5:50 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. The 5 seed Knicks looking to shock the world. Nice move on Avery Bradley. The basket plus the foul. 30 points in the paint for the New York Knicks. That's been half of our offensive income up to this point. I received the dribble handoff from Toppin. And this was a beautiful... The ref's blocking the way. This was a beautiful in and out hesitation move I put on Bradley, absorbing the bump from Bam Adebayo with a little kiss. Nothing but nylon there. As I head back to the line, as I improve to 2 for 3 shooting from the charity stripe that I'm going to be playing here in the 3rd quarter. Bradley, no good. We don't have numbers here, so I'll pull it out. Noxie, he's open, trying to make it triple number 3. Let's go! 8 unanswered points for the Knicks. 67-50. Doesn't have the foot speed to keep up. Crossover. I've got his shoulders turned. How can I miss that? Are you joking? I want this ball back. I want this ball back right now. Oh, man. That's horrible. Speaking of smoking open shots, there's one for me as then Duncan Robinson.
Basket's good.
He will then isolate on Marjanovic. And it looks like my time here in the third quarter has come to an end for just the meantime. Normally I do play some key minutes down the stretch in the third, but I'm also getting subbed out a little bit later than I normally do in the third quarter, so perhaps I won't see the floor until the fourth this game. So back to cheering my teammates on the bench. Obi Toppin. There's a nice take with his inside hand. Look at Boban. He's hit on the body by Bam Adebayo on the follow. And it's another three-point play for New York. Bobby knocks it down. Let's go. Josh Hart, he's the one with the rock in his hands. Bam comes up pretty high to set him a screen. Quickly got away with some contact there. And then he gets a lane on the other end with the finger roll finish. Doing it on both ends is Immanuel Quickley. He's probably our team MVP today. Up to Cade. He's trapped at the elbow as Jimmy Butler takes his lunch money. Inside, Dragic. Good extra pass. Wow, what an assist. Oh, not an assist. But then Bam again on the glass. That was quite the find by Dragic. Adebayo is starting to make us pay down low. He's starting to feel himself on the offensive rebounds, which is something we try to avoid this game. 8 seconds. Here comes Randall. Yes, with the pull-up tray. Looking like the real-life Randall. That is what I'm talking about right there. The final possession here in the third quarter. Miami's had the last possession and all 3 quarters. They didn't make anything in the first and second quarter's conclusion. What about the third? Ingram tries to answer, but his prayer is not answered. Let's go. 77-62. We just have to play our game, milk the clock a little bit, sit on it, and the NBA Finals is ours. From down 2-0, tying it 2-2, and a 15-point lead with 1 quarter to go. The Knicks might have just done this thing. We'll find out when we come back. Oh yeah, the assist of the game for my amazing 3-point possession. Hand off to Cade. He's looking for Ferran. There he is from 15 feet. No, but it's snatched by Mitch. It's been a tug-of-war battle inside between Mitch and Bam all game long. And once again, we've tied our biggest lead of the ball game at 17. It's okay, Ferran. I like the aggressiveness. Tyler Hero. To Dragic, out on the right wing. Step back jumper. Dragic gets it. That is a huge shot. Randall. I mean, hey, he wants to post up, so I'll trust my teammate. Inside. Couldn't get it to drop. 8:10 left to go. Butler. No. Bam. Yes. Man, we gotta start closing out. Timeout. Tom Thibodeau in the mix. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Don't put your heads down. Still got a 10-point advantage. With 8:03 left to go in the fourth quarter. NBA Finals on the line. A little bit of a broken play here. Ferran. This is our go-to at the end of a shot clock. Not happening. Oh, man. And Dragic is open. Ferran got to close out. That was a confident-looking shot from Dragic. Oh, my goodness. 7 unanswered points to bring him back within 7. The Heat, their crowd is back into it, chanting defense. Screen. Mitch. That one's cut off, but it's deflected into his hands. A stroke of luck for New York. I'm open. Ferran, extra pass, dump off. Here comes Mitch. Oh, that was a great looking possession before. Oh, look at Obi. Ah. Don't leave Ingram open. Hero. Back out to Ingram. You gotta get closer, Toppin. You gotta get closer. That one's blocked. But then Adebayo grabs his 19th rebound of the game, but it does not result in points. Cade, crossover, gives it back out to me. Putting it in my hands for a huge possession. Double cross. Butler doesn't have the foot speed to hold me. Let's go. Again, over 10 points. But then, what an assist by Tyler Hero. Covering the length of the floor with just one pass. Here comes Brandon. Here comes Brandon. Out to Hero. I'm there for the closeout, and he still knocks it down. We haven't heard from Tyler Hero since the first quarter, but finally he gets back out on the board. Cade is open. Good choice not to take that shot, rookie. I'll give it to Ferran. I'll give it up to him instead. Answering back. This is just like Game 4, where every time Miami takes a step in the right direction, we're there to bring him back down to reality. But there's Bam to give him 20+ points on the night. Come on, close out on Butler. Inside, what an assist. Miami's gonna fight to the very end. We already know that. 25-19 for Adebayo. It's a double screen for me. Am I gonna take a three here? Am I gonna take a three here to end the game? Bang! That's what I'm talking about. My three-point success here in the playoffs continues to be at the best it's ever been in my career. That might have just sealed it, but there's still less than 4 minutes to go for Miami to mount a comeback, and here comes Jimmy Butler flying down the lane. That ankle looks pretty good to me. Ferran, he'll take off, and then he has it knocked away by Butler. Getting him back has been huge for Miami, and I contest the layup, but to no avail. Dragic, things are getting pretty intense here. 3:13 left to go. My personal third straight finals is on the line. A legendary series comeback is on the line. Cade Cunningham works to his left. That one's long. Another stop for Miami. They have it down within 6. A three cuts it to one possession. Inside. Nobody picks up. Bam. Are you joking right now? 27-19 for Adebayo. And Miami has come all the way back from down 17 to cut it to 4 with 2:53 left to go on the game clock. Ferran, this is a huge look. That one's off. The Knicks are starting to go cold. He's guarded by Obi Toppin. They got the switch to Adebayo they wanted. Yeah, they have the switch. They're trying to take advantage, but Obi closes it down. Cade, he's open. A step inside the line. And we still can't knock down a jump shot. We got to stop going so fast. Guys, we're approaching 2 minutes with the NBA Finals on the line. Tyler Hero's open, but I close out. Screen for Ingram. Dumps it down. Here comes Adebayo. That'll bring up 2 free throws. And Bam Adebayo gets Miami inches closer of completing the upset. Or the comeback, rather. No, he missed the second. The comeback is still not complete for Miami. We need to take our time here. We'll give it to Ferran. Let him do some work. With the teardrop, there goes Ferran with 2 huge points. Come on, New York. You gotta hold on. Hero's open. Like in the passing lane, they're running the same play for Ingram. That's an open shot, and he got it. Still within a single possession. Mitch is open. He's got the mismatch, but let's let Ferran continue to work. 5 seconds left. He enters the post. Tough shot. That's not the possession we needed. No threes. Come on, New York. No threes. We have one timeout left. Ingram over to Hero. I'm right there. With the touch pass. Dragic to Adebayo. Cuts it to a one-score game. We have gotten outscored in the fourth quarter by Miami. 30-16 to keep their season alive. The Knicks trying not to choke away one of the best NBA comebacks you'll ever see. It's a play for me. I'm open. It's off! No! Miami with the possession, down one. How did that shot not fall? Ingram for three. No! Bam! With the follow, yes! He retakes the lead for Miami. The Heat have come all the way back, outscoring us 32-16. Tibbs is not calling a timeout. Ferran from the top of the key. He's doubled down low, almost gives it away. Mitch, bad shot, very bad shot. Oh my goodness, what has happened to the Knicks? I don't know what to say. That was a horrible last possession. We should have called timeout and talked it over. But we only had one left.
Take a break. 2 shots.
So we have to keep that final timeout for this possession right here. Going for the 2 or the 3, depending on what happens here with Brandon Ingram. He makes the front end of the 2 shots. Ingram for the second. He got it. Timeout, New York. 12 seconds to go. Miami has come all the way back from down 17 in the second half to potentially spoil our series comeback. Here's the 5 we're going with to try to keep our season alive. We need a 3 with 11 seconds to go. The entire season, my first season as a New York Knick, comes down to this. It's a stack set. I'm popping. Ferran to the corner. Decent look. Ferran is off the mark. I think that's it, guys. I think that's our season. We need 2 misses from the veteran. Or no, sorry, we fouled Tyler Hero. And there it is. I can't believe what I just saw. The second one's off the mark. Last chance today from Randall. That's it. The Heat come back from down nearly 20 points in the second half to outscore us by over double of what we put up in the fourth quarter to make their second straight NBA Finals and snap my 2-year consecutive streak of making the championship round. I don't even know what to say anymore, guys. Our NBA 2K21 run of this series has come to an end in heartbreaking fashion. I can't believe it. All of a sudden, we just could not get stops. Bam Adebayo probably out-rebounded us as a team just by himself in the fourth quarter. And we were up by 10 with 4 minutes to go. And Miami comes all the way back to spoil the Knicks' first NBA Finals since 2000 to return to the championship round. Let's take a look at that fourth quarter, shall we? 35-16, Miami outscored us. Out-rebounded us by 4, but it felt like a lot more than that. This is a heartbreaking loss right here, guys. Bam Adebayo with 25 rebounds. Man, this one stings right here. 10 rebounds for Adebayo in the fourth quarter. We had 12 as a team. That tells you something about how bad Bam Adebayo wanted this game. Oh my goodness. The Knicks were dominating through 3 quarters, 3.5 if you will. 3.5 quarters, it was all New York. And Miami storms back.
Well, there you have it, guys. Unfortunately, our Cinderella story got ugly. Real ugly. We end up getting outscored by Miami 35-16 in the 4th quarter, and our historic NBA Conference Finals comeback, it falls short by 4 points, and it's a real shame. But the NBA 2K21 portion of the road to NBA 2K comes to an end. It was still an incredible turnaround season for the New York Knicks, all things said and done. Nobody gave us a chance to compete with the conference or NBA champions from a season ago, and we still took them to the distance. Almost beat them in 5 games on their home floor, but unfortunately in that 4th quarter some things didn't go our way, and Bam Adebayo almost out-rebounded us as an entire team in the 4th. All in all, it's a heartbreaking loss, but hey, at least in the next NBA 2K video, we're going to be in NBA 2K22 for the next season of New York Knicks basketball, with a lot of key moves throughout the entire NBA. I'm going to be recapping the offseason and turning this series into the road to NBA 2K22 next time you see me. This is College Sports Survived signing out. Hope you enjoyed today, everyone.